Good morning, St. Lucers. It is good to be with you on another day that the Lord has made. I'm coming to you from my car today, and I will tell you in the last couple of months, I haven't spent a lot of time in my car. Once we went under stay-at-home orders, I wasn't coming to St. Luke's, and I used to before all of this COVID stay-at-home social distancing. I was in my car a lot. Coming to St. Luke's each day was a good 45 minutes plus each direction, and so I spent a lot of time in this space, and so it's been interesting to not be in this space very much because I live out of my car in a lot of ways. But I remember early in the pandemic time of staying at home and being at home 24 hours a day for days on end, I heard someone talk about one of the things that would be a challenge for us is that loss of transition space. That the transitions that we make from sleep to awake, whether that's a cup of coffee or a shower, the transitions we make from home to work or to school, often our commutes, even if they are much shorter than mine. And losing that transition space really throws us off sometimes. It throws off our sense of structure and our sense of organization and the way that we have patterned our lives. And so in the last few months, we have had to find different patterns, right? We've had to pattern our lives in different ways. And so as we begin to spend a little less time at home, probably I hope we're still staying at home as often as we can and caring for our neighbor and doing no harm as much as we can. But as we begin to go back to some of those pre-pandemic patterns, whether it's going back to work and looking at those things that we can reclaim even though they may look a little different, I wonder that in the last few months, what new patterns have emerged? What new things have you taken on in your life, whether it's time with family or Zoom happy hours, or what are those experiences, those ways of structuring your life? Are you spending time in Scripture that you didn't before? Are you spending more time in prayer? Are you talking to God more? What patterns have you taken on in this time that maybe you want to continue? So as we begin to feel things reopening and there being a little more sense of normalcy around us while things are still very abnormal, what is it that we want to take with us? We asked this question a few weeks ago in worship, but I don't want you to forget it. What are the new patterns that emerged in your life? Maybe again as a result of the loss of some of those patterns, but as we regain maybe some patterns from before COVID, what do we want to take with us? What are the practices that were life-giving? I know my time in my car used to be sacred space. It was my quiet time. It was the time that I got to decide what happened, whether it was music or a podcast or silence. I can't control traffic, but I could let this be my space just for me. I wonder, what space do you need to keep creating for yourself? What space have you been able to create in new ways during this time? What is it that we want to take with us from these new patterns that have emerged in our lives? I pray that these daily devotions might be part of your new pattern. I pray that daily prayer is part of your pattern. I pray that the way that you are continuing to care for one another and love our neighbor by first doing no harm, doing all the good we can, is part of our new pattern. That we are able to care for ourselves in some new ways because of this great disruption that we've all experienced. That we find God in new ways, that we see God in moments that might not have felt as holy before. But as we reclaim old patterns, do we take part of our new patterns into that space? So what is that new pattern? What is that holy space that you are carrying with you as we continue on this journey together? I am thankful for you, and I am thankful that we can continue to journey together as St. Luke's and as fellow Christ followers in this unprecedented time. And I pray that as we create our new normal together, we find ways to continue to glorify God in all that we do.